Ooh, no, this one is strong. There are tears coming to my eyes. Welcome to the Mateverse. In this video, I'll be testing 7 types of yerba mate, ascending from the lightest brands on the market to these brutally caffeinated freaks, and I will tell you exactly how they make me feel. So you will better know what to expect when you shop for new yerbas, and you will see the first time the combined effect of mate, guarana and guayusa being tested on the human body, which happens to be my human body, unfortunately, but I'll worry about that later. Now, let's start with a type of mate that has less noticeable effect on cognition than a glass of Coca-Cola. Of course, it's Tereré. But don't forget that Tereré can be consumed in huge amounts, especially if you drink it with plain water like I do. So maybe if you keep refilling the same Tereré, we can get something out of it. Okay, this was the 5th refill. It's actually 7 p.m. here, and I was starting to get a little bit of tiredness in my eyes. I feel that receding a little bit. It's delicious actually. You can never go wrong with a good cup of Tereré. Okay, it was 8 refills, and now I start to feel a little bit of a push behind my eyes and my forehead. That's usually how 1 refill of regular mate affects me in terms of caffeine. I had 10 refills and I feel basically very little effect still. After drinking 10 refills of Tereré in one sit with barely any noticeable effect, it was time to level up. This is the lightest form of hot mate that I know of. It's an Argentinian cut, Suave type yerba, which means it is manufactured deliberately to make it contain as little caffeine as possible. Many people think that Suave yerba will taste lame or weaker just because it has less caffeine, but in reality, it is only different in that it is less bitter, so it will be more sweet. It is obviously better for beginners, but I think it could be better for more experienced mate drinkers in a lot of cases. There is this chocolate taste that you sometimes get from yerba mate. You can only get it in the best chimarrão, and even then just sometimes. I reckon this being the effect of theobromine. In Union Suave, you consistently get this cacao chocolate flavor. It's like chocolate powder. In terms of effect, I feel the slight tiredness from behind my eyes getting cleared away, just like Tereré did. I also noticed that this has a little slower curve of effect. 10 minutes have passed from the first refill and I start to feel alert. I would not say that I feel very energized, I just feel awake and comfortable. This is so delicious. I had 6 refills and it already starts to lose flavor. This might be the biggest disadvantage of Suave yerbas. They just lose flavor so quickly. I think that Suave yerbas are amazing, and this one is no exception. But if you're looking for something that will power you in a noticeable way, then we have to level up from here. At this point, I could level up to a regular Argentinian yerba that is not Suave, but most of them would give me the same effect, just a little stronger. So I'll skip that and try something very different. Chimarrão. Now you're right to ask, how is it possible that while Chimarrão is so different from Argentinian mate, it's still just 1 level higher? The thing is that there are 2 ways yerbas get a stronger caffeine effect. By being aged and smoked for longer, or by being grinded finer and finer. Now, Chimarrão is not aged or smoked at all, but it's grinded as fine as possible, so it kind of makes up for it, placing it somewhere above Argentinian yerbas in terms of strength. But the way that caffeine takes effect is so different. In the last 30 minutes, I drank 5 refills of this Chimarrão, and I definitely feel energized, but in a very different way from what I felt when I had the Argentinian yerba. I do not feel that immediate clearing away of tiredness, that immediate feeling of fullness and comfort that even the lightest Argentinian yerba caused me immediately. I do not feel that at all. What I feel is as a huge wall of energy was accumulating in me as I was drinking these refills. And after like half an hour, I start to feel the effects. I start to feel not exactly waking up. I feel like the essence of being energized, you know. I feel like I could do many things now. Wake up and walk 10 kilometers, do some mental effort. I feel motivation and energy. It's such a different effect that you get from Argentinian mate. This likely has to do with that Chimarrão is processed so little, it's basically just dried out and then grinded. So I'm literally drinking almost fresh yerba mate leaves now. These very natural, very fresh leaves likely extract their compounds much slower. I do not feel like if I had 3 more refills, then it would kick my heart rate up. In a way, this might be the best thing that you can get out of mate. But the thing is that this is still kind of a subtle, very slight effect that I get here. Let's just stop for a second. I could be talking about my own subjective experience for hours, but what do people actually think about different mate's caffeine levels? Well, there is one common opinion. Canarias, and basically all other Uruguayan yerba. Now these are aged and grinded very fine, not as fine as chimarrão, but still very fine, so they sort of combine the immediate, comforting and fast-acting effect of Argentinian yerbas with the motivating and deeply energizing effects of chimarrão. Now you're just seeing my casual workout routine. I always drink 1 or 2 refills of Canarias before every workout, and then after the workout I drink it for the whole day to recover better. I feel a warm feeling in my intestines, getting comfortable, and I also feel that very deep motivation and energy that I felt with chimarrão, and I can absolutely see why sportsmen choose this. My heart rate is actually still like 70 beats per minute. Maybe we can have a 4th refill now. Okay, 5 refills of Canarias in 20 minutes, and I start to feel a little bit of a push in my head. Because the thing is that Uruguayan yerbas can be overdosed on, especially if you're not that experienced of a matero. Like in the start of my mate career, the 3rd yerba I've ever had was Canarias Serena, and that has a lot of caffeine. And I pretty frequently drank too much of it, and that's not pleasant at all. It's like you have a headache for 20 minutes and you feel just bad. So with Canarias, you got to be careful, especially if you're new to it, because it can kick. So half an hour passed and I have 5 refills of Canarias in me, and it really starts to take effect, and I feel that clean energy in me, and I'm really ready to do my workout now. So let's go. I'm done with the workout and I feel a little dizziness, a little headache, and that is because I forgot the most important thing, and that is to drink at least as much water as the amount of mate you drink. Always remember that. So this was the strongest mate. Thanks for watching. End of the video. Not so fast. The fun part just begins now, because from now I'll be drinking mates that I have never tried before, but I have a good reason to assume that they're just brutal. The first one is Salam. Internationally, no one talks about it, but in the Hungarian mate community, Salam has a reputation for being the strongest existing yerba. The people I know who tried it just warned me that I better not drink it in the afternoon if I want to sleep that night. Let's go, first try. This tastes killer. This is brutally intense. It tastes a little bit like Paraguayan yerbas to me, which is a bad omen when it comes to strength, because Paraguayan yerbas are aged for the longest, which means that because the leaves are so aged, they extract caffeine so much faster. But this thing is cut like a Uruguayan yerba, and this thing tastes like a Paraguayan yerba, which means that this thing is likely deadly. This might just be placebo, but I might feel instantly more awake. I should probably stop with the first refill, but this is an experiment, so only for now. It's also very foamy. There is a lot of stuff getting extracted from this. On their website, Salam is calling this a smooth and delicate experience for people who crave a lighter flavor or something like that. But this is not that. This is very far from that. Easily the strongest tasting yerba I have ever had, but I have to wait for the effects for a few minutes. While I'm waiting for the effects, let me tell you something. There are some very delicious mates that are very strong in the same time. And if you're drinking it not for the effect, but for the taste, like I do most of the time, then what can you do to not over-caffeinate yourself with your favorite yerba? So there are a few strategies. The first one is during the preparation, when you steep the yerba with a little water. If you do that with cold water, then the first refill will be far weaker. And the thing is that normally the first refill is by far the strongest. Another thing you can do is drinking the first refill and then spitting it out. Some people do that to not over-caffeinate themselves with these strong yerbas. The third one, which is my favorite, is that when you have your first refill, you do not fill to the brim of your mountain, but you feel it only quarter way at first. And then you can feel it halfway, and on the third refill you will feel it to the brim of your mountain, and it will be as good as it gets. About 20 minutes have passed and I start to feel the effect, but honestly it's like not that bad. Maybe it has to do with the fresh air, or with that I'm walking it out. Definitely didn't kill me yet. Guys, it's 5 in the afternoon and I had 4 refills throughout the whole day, and all along I was feeling this menacing push in my head, you know, the feeling that if I had another refill, it would overdose the hell out of me. From the moment I drank the first refill, I was basically editing videos non-stop for like 4 hours. I don't know what would have happened to me if I drank the whole gourd full. I would definitely not drink Salam every day, but on those days where I have to lock in and have a full session of focus, I will consider Salam every time. Next up is a yerba that I've never tried before, and I don't know anyone who did, so I have no clue what this is going to bring me. But they didn't make it a secret that this yerba is intended for energy. Let's see. It is for people who wake up exactly at 7 a.m. in a completely lit room, good for them, or for those who study or rather try to study, and for those who work in a factory. Well, I happen to be none of those. I'll use this for my workout, so this might be cheating or it might not have any effect then. Anyway, let's prepare it. Opening these packages is the most stressful thing ever, because if you mess it up, you strip over the whole thing and it will be unusable for the whole of the lifetime of that package. So I searched up how this Taragui Energia is supposed to have more caffeine than the regular Taragui. Thanks to its summer harvest, it has a higher natural matein content, which is caffeine in mate, a natural substitute for energy drinks while maintaining the original Taragui flavor. Okay, so this tastes exactly like the regular Taragui, but it is supposed to be stronger. Interesting. Characteristics: intense and authentic flavor. I'd be okay with that. This is all they say. So this is harvested in the summer. Well, then I guess other mates are not. Let's see what is that enough for. Okay, now I can definitely see it is way finer cut than the regular Taragui. It's crazy that it's level 6 in this video and I'm trying an Argentinian yerba. I would have never thought that. Wow, it's good. Better than the regular Taragui. I think we can go for 2 refills with this one easily. It's also very foamy. That means quality. Man, I don't know how strong this will be, but it tastes amazing. It likely has to do with that it's Argentinian and has this fine cut, so it extracts more flavor. But it's just the perfect combination of sweetness, bitterness, and smokiness, I think. It's very good. Maybe we should harvest all mates in summer? I'm gonna be brave with this one. Let's do 3 refills right now and then hit the gym. Guys, this was amazing. I had the 3 refills and in 5 minutes I felt so energized, wanting to move around and jump and, you know, do my workout, do my exercises. It energized me so quickly that no yerba has ever done a comparable effect to me. It was not strong in a way that it overwhelmed you. It was purely, strongly powering me. Let's have a refill for recovery. The only thing is that these 3 refills have powered me like nothing before for 30 minutes, but then it sort of smoothed out a little bit, so I became tired in 45 minutes in my workout. So this might be a very fast acting effect, but might not be so long lasting. But if I kept drinking throughout the workout, a few more refills, I would have spinned throughout the whole thing and it would have been amazing. But this way, this was something incredible. My heart rate was about 100 throughout the whole workout, which is quite a lot for resistance training. I didn't expect this. I thought this would be just an Argentinian yerba, but this really does something different. Maybe it's the summer harvest, maybe it's some chemical thing that happens in the summer with the mate. This is clearly the best pre-workout mate I've tried. But before we took our first sip, guys, I'm making these videos in my free time. I would really, really appreciate if you hit like and subscribe, so we'll have way more of this kind of videos. Let's see. Ooh. Now this one's strong. There are tears coming to my eyes. It tastes very intense. It tastes smoky and like brutal, like a Paraguayan yerba should. First impression, not as strong as Salam in terms of taste, because it has rougher cut, but with each sip, I feel more and more of the guarana. And when I feel that guarana taste, I feel that caffeine is here. Let's have another refill for the sake of science here. This is powerful. This is not powerful in a way Salam is powerful. This mate is so full. I don't know how to describe it. You know, Paraguayan yerbas tend to be on the smokier side, on the lighter side, but this is full somehow. Maybe it's the guayusa. So I can definitely see guayusa leaves in here. It almost seems to have a different dimension of caffeine effect. You know, it's not just mate, but it's also guayusa and guarana. And I don't know, I somehow feel it more in my head, in my brain. I woke up. I had an awakening right now, guys. This is amazing. This is insane. I think I can have a third refill. This feels so balanced out. I don't know how this is possible. Famous last words, right? Guys, I'm so relieved. I thought this video was gonna be about me overdosing on caffeine each time. Still, I overdosed twice. I overdosed with Canarias and also I overdosed with Salam. But this video has turned out way less life-threatening than I imagined. But it is still possible that in half an hour I would feel miserable. But I don't really think that. I had 3 refills in 20 minutes and I start to feel it in my head. I need to move a little bit. I just had a full leg workout and this is the most energized I have ever been. I had 3 refills and in 30 minutes I started to feel a little jitterish, a little edgy, and then 5 minutes later I started my workout, and from the moment I started, for 50 minutes straight I was tunnel vision, logged in, only on the task. I completed a full leg day and I basically do not remember a moment of it. I felt so powered up throughout the whole time. It was long lasting, it was way more long lasting than the Taragui energy. I would say that 3 refills was a little bit too much. I was starting to feel a little too edgy. Now I feel better, now it's okay, but 2 refills would have been the ideal dosage before workout. Let's have 1 refill now for recovery. Just look at that foam right there. That is pure energy. It is starting to have a little bit of a sweet aftertaste. It starts to lose its edgy smokiness. This is an amazing find. And it would not have been possible without this video, because I was looking for the strongest yerba mate that exists right now. And this was a pretty obvious choice, but I would have never imagined it so delicious. So combining mate, guayusa and guarana in the same drink is typically something that you put in a package, it looks good in your marketing, but it's not good at all. But this thing actually works. I don't know how much they worked on the quantities of the balance of the different ingredients. This thing just works, and this works just as it's intended to work in my opinion. If you drink this for mental performance though, I would be way more cautious with the dosaging. I would drink only 1 refill in the beginning and then divide the other refills throughout the whole day very evenly. So is this the strongest caffeine effect we can get from mate? Well, I don't know, maybe there are some hyper-caffeinated mates somewhere out there, but at the moment I think that if you want something very strong that doesn't kill you, this is it. If you want something very strong that does kill you, then this is it. So here we go, 7 caffeine levels of yerba mate, and this video was so much fun to make that I really want to do a similar one, which will be about the most extreme yerba mates that we all know of, but for that I need your help. So if you know any very strong yerbas or some very light yerbas, then make sure to write them to me in the comments and I can include them in that video. Thanks for watching and see you in a different Mateverse.